All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I got a big one for you. So, in just a second, we'll talk about that incredibly bizarre Trump town hall that randomly turned into a concert. I mean, everybody's been trying to figure out what the hell was this? This is wild. So, we'll talk about that. Destiny, political streamer Destiny, had a debate with a guy who I like to call Alex Jones Mini-Me. He's Owen Schroyer. He's worked for InfoWars for a while now. Caught a few charges in the process of that. Well, they had a big debate, and I got some amazing moments for you. Then we'll get to AOC and John Fetterman absolutely going to war. We have Tim Walz has been unleashed on Trump yet again. He's going Insky. He is no longer hiding in the basement. We'll get to Asmongold. Boy, I'm sure all of you have seen the clip by now, but I gotta play it for you and react. He had some thoughts on what's going on in Gaza at the moment, and spoiler alert, it is repulsive. Then later on, we'll get to Ken Klippenstein, the lefty journalist, was visited by the FBI. More on that. And Ted Cruz was absolutely dismantled to his smug face by his Democratic opponent, Colin Allred. And it might be time to start having the conversation. Is Ted Cruz actually going to lose in Texas? It's in the realm of the possible now, man. It's in the realm of the possible. So we'll talk about all that and more. You guys know the drill. Everybody do me a big favor. Please like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. We can't do it without you. There are some independent media shows that are actually independent, and we take money through small dollar donations from you guys, Patreon, Substack for Crystal Kyle and friends, the default ads on YouTube, but I've literally never had a conversation with an advertiser. Very proud of that fact. And of course, never taken any money from shady billionaires or foreign governments, as many others in this space have done. And I call those people, they're not independent media. They are new corporate media. That's what they are. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So I'm sure all you guys have heard a lot about this by now, but Trump the other day did what was supposed to be a town hall with Kristi Noem. And it was in this big, warehouse, and apparently there was no AC in there, and everybody was sweating like a pig, and they were very uncomfortable. And so, again, it's supposed to be a town hall. Donald Trump takes, I believe the exact number is 3 questions. Then what happens is, I believe there are 2 people who have some sort of medical incident where, they pass out, faint, whatever. It takes a little while to get them the help they need, but they get the help they need. And Trump decides out of nowhere, all right, enough with the questions. Let me show the chart. Let me show my favorite chart. And he shows the chart from when, the one he was showing when the first assassination attempt happened. He talks about, I love this chart. I kiss this chart. This chart is beautiful. I would marry this chart if I could marry this chart. I would fuck this chart. I absolutely would fuck this chart. So he's saying weird stuff like that. And then he's just like, I cue up the music. Let's listen to some music. Let's do it. And then they just, for over 30 minutes, they just play random songs as Trump bobs back and forth on stage, and everybody's looking around what the hell is going on here? What happened? So first I'm going to show you a breakdown, then I'll get to some other specific moments. I'm not sure, guys. I might get knocked on this for copyright because some of the music is going to play. I think that each little clip is under 12 seconds, so it's possible we get away with it and we don't get knocked on copyright for having some of the music play, but I'll speed it up to 1.25 times, hoping that, maybe skirts getting the copyright strike or whatever, but here we go.
This is a brief breakdown of the Trump rally in Oaks, Pennsylvania. For the first hour, the audience waited with no one on stage. The audience was allowed to ask 3 questions. First question was about inflation. Second question was about inflation. And the third question was about inflation for small businesses. Now we're at about an hour and a half into the rally. The first medical issue comes up with someone in the audience. It's resolved in about 5 minutes. Fourth question, how will you deport criminals? At about 1 hour and 40 minutes into the rally, the second medical issue happens in the audience. It takes about 3.5 minutes to resolve. Music plays throughout. Trump tells the stage manager to show the immigration chart that he looked at when he got shot. He asked the stage manager to play the song Ave Maria. Then Trump talked for a little over 5 minutes. At about 1 hour and 50 minutes into the rally, Trump says, let's hear some music, and the first of 2 songs play. Over 5 minutes later, there's a brief cut, and a new song starts for another 3.5 minutes. Trump says into a microphone, let's do another question. No, let's play YMCA. Then music plays, and he just stands on stage for 6 minutes. A little over 2 hours into the rally, Trump comments that no one is leaving, asks crowd if they should play music, then says, "Turn it up." Trump awkwardly dances and moves on stage through several songs for 25 minutes and 30 seconds. Trump then goes into the audience and shakes hands with people for about 6 minutes before exiting.
All right, so I got a little compilation of that for you. That was just a general breakdown of like what happened. Here's some of the very weird Trump swaying back and forth / dancing type moments.
Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music. Who the hell wants to hear questions, right?
As you're gonna find out here, it is the weirdest mix of music you've ever heard in your life. Totally different genres and vibes and flows. If this dude was a DJ, he'd have been fired on night one. Ave Maria? Like what?
How about this? We'll play YMCA and we'll go home.
What? I'm going to give you my theory on this in just a second. Let's watch the rest of it. And I got one more video for you, but then I'm going to give you my theory on it. Sinead O'Connor, nothing compares to you. Okay. So now, by the way, the whole time that this was going on, you can't see it from this angle. I think you see it in the next video. Yeah. So look in the background here. The text behind him says, "Trump was right about everything." And that's just casually sitting up there. Now, for this video, I want you to notice, look at this woman right here, this black woman right here. Watch her reaction as we walk through this. Here we go. Ready? Again, I got to speed it up. Trying to find clever ways to skirt copyright here. Let's do it. Here you go. Look at her face. She's like, what is going on right now? What is this? Now, look, it goes without saying, if this was a Joe Biden event and he cut it off after 3 questions and it's supposed to be a town hall and he started playing music, everybody would be like, oh, his brain is pudding. He's cooked, bro. Like it's so over. It's been over. This is not a thing. What he's doing is not a thing. It's bizarre. He's having some sort of breakdown. So here's my guess, y'all. I think the reason why he did this is because his advisors have been telling him, like, hey man, you've been going a little too hard lately. He's been saying things like we're gonna invoke, what's it called again? It's not Illegal Aliens Act of 1798, something Aliens Act of 1798, and he's saying he's going to invoke that. He wants to go after both legal and illegal immigrants. I mean, that was literally the justification for Japanese internment, that act from 1798. He's been saying we're going to deploy the National Guard and the military to go after the enemy within, which he calls the radical left, but he, of course, means anybody who's not MAGA, right? I mean, he's been saying insane, super extremist things, and I think his staffers know, like, I don't know, this doesn't seem to be landing, right? And so they're like, you got to be more relatable, you got to be more down to earth, you got to chill out a little bit, you got to take the rough edges off, you got to find a way to show people, like, I'm cool, bro, I'm cool, I'm not a crazy authoritarian fascist psychopath, bro. And what did they land on? He's doing a town hall and they just cut that bitch off to play music and bob back and forth and shit. That's what they landed on. So, I don't know. This was bizarre. This was weird, bro. This was some weird shit. I've seen some weird shit before. This was super duper mega weird. So, not sure this is the right way to go. By the way, at the same time, Trump has also been canceling a lot of interviews lately. He has been doing some, to be fair, and we'll do a segment on that either today or tomorrow on his Bloomberg News interview, because it was actually kind of hostile and he crumbled in real time. But like he skipped out on a CNBC interview. He skipped out on the 60 Minutes interview. I think there was one other that he skipped out on. And so now people are starting to say, like, hey, man, are you up to the job? All the arguments you guys used against Joe Biden about how he's decrepit and he's falling apart and he doesn't have the energy, he doesn't have the ability, he's really old. Now all of a sudden, that conversation is absolutely fairly being had about Trump. Because nobody knows what this was. I don't even think Christy Noem, who was doing the town hall with him, I don't even think she knew what was going on here. She's like, okay, I guess we're just now listening to music. Can you imagine going to a town hall, he takes 3 questions, and then he starts playing fucking YMCA? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.